So our topic is stress and human response. What is stress? It is your body's reaction to pressure from a certain situation or event. It can be physical, mental, or emotional reaction. So mo kanang man siya ma-feel nato nga kanang kapoy kay ta or dagan tay una kanang guol kay ta tanan tungod sa mga panghitabo. Stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand or threat. When you when you sense danger, where it's real or imagined, the body's defense kick into high gear in a rapid automatic process known as the fight or flight reaction, or the stress response.
We all deal with stress at some point in our lives. Maybe it's your job, a family illness, or money troubles. These are common triggers. And according to a recent study, about half of all Americans say that they're dealing with moderate stress. But in us Filipinos, we experience stress when we are at school. And this is a good example. Kining stress kay common na jud kaayo ni nato. Labi na ganang naay activity nya ugma ng deadline sa mga assignments, mga wala titulog, sige na lang ug buhat niya ay gugma na itom na kay mga mata na stress dayon. Next is, not all stress is bad. It can make you more aware of things around you and keep you more focused. In some cases, the stress can give you strength and help you get more done. And what does it mean with this? Not all stress is bad. There is called good stress, or what psychologists refer to as eustress. This is a type of stress when we are excited. We feel this kind of stress when we ride a roller coaster or go on a first date. And this good stress keeps us feeling alive and excited about life. And the next reporter will be presenting the two main types of stress.
There are two main types of stress, which are acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress is for a short time period only. Example, kanang ka-oral. Diba ma-stress tag kalit kay makalbanta basin magtanga lang ta or basin di ta maka-answer. Then iniguman sa oral kay makaginhawa na ta kay syempre manata. Mao na ang acute stress, madalian lang. Then chronic stress is stress that lasts for a long period of time. Kani kay kanang matagalan na kanang pagka magdugay na ganit, hinigdugay na kay kanang pwede siya maka-affect sa atong physical, emotional, and mental health. Basta chronic stress, then dapat kanang dapat kabaw ka sa mga signs about sa chronic stress para makuan nimo kanang mapugnan nimo or para ayos nimo. That's all.
Physical effects of chronic stress include headaches. Kaning headaches kay maglabad nimong ulo or manakit na bit imong ulo. Then kaning sunod kay trouble sleeping. Trouble sleeping kay kanan ni siyang maglugos kag katog, dili kay katog, or sleeping too much. Sleeping too much kana na saning sigilan sa kagkatog. Then sunod is muscle pain or tension. Muscle pain, tension kay kanang manakit imong lawas, like dinhidapit, ngare, likod. Then sunod is digestive issues. Digestive issues kana ning maglain-lain mong tiyan, mo ni magkalibanga ka. Mo siya sagad ani. Then sunod kay change in sex drive. So change in sex drive ang imong kanang drive pag-drive sa kana pag sex nimo kay mausab, like magtangan ka gana or basta kaning change in sex drive kay basta magtangan ka ni gana guro. Then high blood pressure o kani high blood pressure daghan na kay nangamatay ani kanang mutaas imong dugo, mutig-o ka. Then mao to akong report. Next.
So, chronic stress is a stress that lasts for a longer period of time. If we let our stress spiral on for too long, makadamage siya sa atong physical, mental, and emotional effects. So sa emotional effects includes feeling you can get things done, moodiness, anxiety, restlessness, lack of motivation, irritability, and sadness or depression.
Stress and human response. Sometimes you feel like you have too much stress to handle. If you think you just can't manage it, you may want to seek help from a specialist. Talk to your primary care doctor to see if you can help to determine whether what you're experiencing stress or anxiety disorder. Stress na gali kay tanan ay kumpiyansa kay mugawas ra bay ng depression ratulo na kay kastanan mga signs sa mga stress ba like panic attacks kanang depression dali ra kay ka maratol worrying all the time dali ra sa kay ka makuan and signs of stress discussed by next reporter, and that's all.
Stress is a normal part of life, and stress means different things to different people. So here are some signs of stress. First is panic attack. So when our body is under too much stress, our nervous system responds by releasing a lot of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which rouse the body for emergency reaction, and which makes our heart it pumps faster. Next is worrying all the time. It is when someone overthinks a lot, which leads them to some health issues or stress. Next is feeling you're under constant pressure. So when we experience being pressured, just like we want to meet people's expectations, and those expectations are unreachable, of course, it is one of the reasons why stress occurs. Next is drinking or doing drugs to deal with your stress. We humans have differences in how we deal with our problems or stress. And for some to forget those issues, they tend to do unrightful acts and not paying attention for the consequences. Next is, other sign is overeating. Because when we are stressed, it also increases our hunger hormones, which may also contribute to cravings for unhealthy foods, and maybe for some, taking in foods can comfort or can lessen their burdens. Next is smoking. Others smoke to relieve stress, and also for them it may be relaxing, and maybe it is their way of coping up with their problems. Next is depression. Stressful life situation can increase the risk of developing depression if we aren't coping with the stress well. Next is withdrawal from family and friends. It is one of the signs because sometimes we are stressed and sometimes we avoid other people because we want to be alone. So next is stress causes. Stress is different for everyone. What stresses you out may not even bother your best friend and vice versa. But many causes of stress can have a negative impact, including being bullied. Being bullied is one of the causes of stress because it can impart negative thoughts to someone's mind, and it is a traumatic experience. Next is working too hard. When we have a lot of things in our mind, sometimes we forget to take a rest, and it can cause stress because our body needs to rest in order for us to have energy and to think up straight. And if we have a lot of work, will leave us feeling worn out and stressed. Next is losing a job. Job is our source of income. So in order for us to buy or to help our family, our loved ones, we find work, and whenever we are fired, of course, we are stressed because we will think of We constantly think of our future, what will happen to us. And next is marriage and relationship problems and recent breakup or divorce. When couples are having problems and arguments, of course, conflicts can have negative effects to the affected people, and it can affect their thoughts, actions, and feelings. Next is death in the family. Losing someone is really painful, especially if you truly love that person. You will think of that person and again, and that can stress you out. Next is difficulty in school. Others can't handle this, and it brought them to make some sort of suicide. Next is family problems. Of course, problems are one of the causes of stress, because we often think of that which results to stress. Next is busy schedule. Having a busy schedule can also cause stress, because our mind can think straight on what to do first. Next and lastly is recent move. It is when you're not sure if you did well with the things that you just recently did. And that could result to stress.
Stress management. So stress management talks about the different ways to cope up with stress, or how human responds when it comes to stress. The alternative that they do to in order to cope up with stress. So stress management. Stress doesn't have to negatively affect if you learn to handle it. So, based on what I have said, so stress doesn't really have to bring negative effect on you if you just know how to handle it. Like, for instances, a few things you can try includes recognize what causes your stress at home or at work, and find ways to steer clear of those situations. So whenever you feel stress at home or at work or at school, you need to find ways for you to clear your mind out and think about what causes your stress. Next is try not to take on too much and prioritize your goals. Cut yourself a break and be more forgiving when you don't get to get everything. So sometimes human tend to focus on stress just because they're stressed, like they keep on thinking about the things that that gives them stress, which makes them more stressed, because in order because instead of looking for ways to clear up your mind and to look ways to cope up with stress, you tend to focus on the things that's giving you stress. So we need to prioritize our goals, because each one of us has our own goals. So if we focus on the things that's giving us stress, how can we reach our goals, right? Next is create a network of close friends and co-workers you can go to when stress starts to build. A hobby or a cause to volunteer for can be good outlets. So it is very important to have a circle of friends where we're in, you can lean on them, you can share all your problems to them, where you can be open ba? Because sometimes what we need is someone or a group that's willing to listen to us, that that can help us cope up with stress, or that can help us in whatever we are facing. Because honestly, man can't live alone. We need someone who is willing to listen to us, who's willing to be part of us, right? Cut down on smoking and drinking. While alcohol and tobacco have had a reputation for helping you relax, they actually can make you more anxious. So this statement is according to study. So sometimes I have read an article before that, so they were asking some random people, so how do they cope up with stress? So they answered smoking, drinking, because if they smoke, it relaxes their mind. But come to think of it, when you smoke, just think about the minutes it can give you relax. It can relax your mind, diba? It can only relax your mind for a short period of time, and then think of the effect, or what smoking can bring to your body. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy because it can damage your lungs. And then when it comes to drinking, most this is what most do. They drink to forget their problems, to stir up their minds. But after they got drunk, the next day, if they are already sober, they could still remember your problem is still there. You hadn't escaped your problem, diba? You hadn't escaped your problem. You hadn't, you just escape it for a couple of hours. Tapos the next day naman, you there it is again. And then one negative effect of drinking is that it can damage your kidneys, because drinking is really not good and it makes you anxious. Carve out some me time and get a little exercise. A 15 to 20 minute walk 3 times a week can break up your day and help you shake off stress. Meditation or other relaxation techniques can help quiet your mind. So this is so easy, okay? Giving a 15 to 20 minute walk and then to be followed by a light to moderate exercise, it can help you shake off those negative vibes, or the things that's keeping you stressed, or that's stressing your mind. And then it can also help you to be physically fit, because we need to be physically fit in order to help our mind be active, to think clearly. So you get yourself some me time, do some exercise, meditate, do yoga. It can really help. It can really help you. So lastly, get a good night's sleep. You may need to cut down on caffeine during the day and screen time at night. And a to-do list can set up the next day and help you get a more restful night's sleep. So this one is very important because coffee can make us nervous, and then drinking coffee every day, though coffee can help us to be active, pero it's causing manggod something in our pan. It's causing something in our nervous system, no, that can make us that has an effect in our body. And then you also need to cut down screen time at night. So if possible, as much as possible, you try to sleep early. Avoid using your phone at night. You relax your eyes, relax your mind, and then as much as possible, make a to-do list the next day, which can help you get a more restful night's sleep. So for you to be prepared the next day, para your mind won't be too stressed. Okay, you make a list of the things that you need to do the next day, so that everything that you do will be organized according to how you want your day to start, and then how you want your day to end. So that would be all for stress management. Thank you.